Bombers are built to carry the fight to the enemy. In an age of long-range, super-fast jet bombers, war knows no boundaries. Jet-powered strike aircraft like the B-2 stealth bomber and the B-1 Lancer can sprint to targets anywhere in the world and be back in time for lunch.
It's the bomber's job to penetrate far behind enemy lines to strategic targets really anywhere on the globe.
But rewind to the Second World War, and bombers were powered by piston engines and propellers. The prop was being pushed harder and harder. In a new era of intercontinental warfare, you needed a bomber with intercontinental range.
Even before people already contemplating bombers that could operate from the continental United States across the Atlantic or across the Pacific to hit soft-flung targets.
The B-29 was the first bomber born to cruise at high altitude. Its 8,800 horsepower took it to over 30,000 feet, where it could evade fighters and anti-aircraft fire. The altitude tested the Boeing designers to the max. The B-29 was the first bomber to be pressurized, allowing the crew to survive the thin air and endure the 15-hour mission. Breathing apparatus and heated suits no longer needed.
You didn't have to wear the bulky flight clothing, the big heavy leather clothing, or the oxygen mask.
The B-36 Peacemaker dramatically raised the bar. Finally getting off the ground in 1947, it was capable of flying 10,000 miles in a single mission. 6 3,800 horsepower engines made the B-36 the world's largest ever piston-driven propeller aircraft. A true monster.
The B-36 had 6 of these engines. It was first designed during the only part of the Second World War when it looked like we were going to have to knock west. It was 28 cylinders in 7 banks, air-cooled, and it was probably one of the most complex and powerful engines ever built.
Despite its complexity, the piston engine uses technology that would be familiar to an auto mechanic.
The term piston engine comes from the fact that you have inside each of these cylinders a piston that moves up and down. And this is where the power is actually produced for the engine. Air is mixed with gasoline. Once the air mixture is in, the piston comes up, compresses the mixture, then at the top a spark ignites the mixture and pushes the piston down. And that's what produces the power. Much the same as an automobile. Same principle.
The piston engine had poor power-to-weight ratio. The B-29 and the B-36 Peacemaker were slow, barely getting past 350 miles an hour. The birth of jet engine